Nobody should be surprised, though, at President Trump's ire over this. He has never made it a secret. He's not a fan of the drug companies. He's accused them of ripping off the American public with high costs of prescription drugs. The president indicating it is time to stop taking U.S. consumers for fools.
In some cases, medicine that costs a few dollars in a foreign country costs hundreds of dollars in America for the same pill, with the same ingredients, in the same package, made in the same plant, and that is unacceptable. You can look at some of the countries. Their medicine is a tiny fraction what the medicine costs in the USA. It's unfair, and it's ridiculous, and it's not going to happen any longer.
So what's the answer? More competition, more generics. Companies like Mylan. You remember Mylan, the maker of the allergy device EpiPen? Remember when it hoisted the price of the life-saving epinephrine pen by nearly 600%, forcing many, including millions of children, to go without the life-saving drug? Same exact drug as when Mylan acquired it in the 70s. Just no generics out there. Joining us now is somebody who helped trigger the awakening to the skyrocketing price of EpiPens, Robyn O'Brien. She's known as the Erin Brockovich of food allergies. And also joining us is RX Savings Solutions CEO Michael Ray, who routinely witnesses consumers struggling to pay for their medications. Robyn, I'll get to you first. You just listened. What do you think of the president's plan to bring costs down? And did you hear anything that will prevent the Mylans of the world from keeping a lock on which direction prices go?
You know, one of the things that the Secretary touched on was legislation that was introduced in 2003, which gives the states the ability to negotiate some of these prices. And I think at this point, that's what we're starting to see. You see the state of Utah. You see the state of West Virginia, which is Mylan's headquarters. They're saying, you know what, we're tired of the price gouging. We need to negotiate these prices. Because the thing is, whether we're talking about food allergies or cancer or diabetes or any of these conditions, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle we're on. It's impacting absolutely every single American family at this point.
Michael, tell me what you thought. There are a bunch of points that were made. Alex Azar just talked about taking on companies and forcing them to allow access in order to bring out generics more quickly. They're working very hard with the FDA, which is much more open to fast-tracking generic versions of these drugs. But why are the stocks higher? I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any fear in anything that the president or Alex Azar said that is making investors flee.
Yeah, you know, I think that a lot of the angst in the market was already priced in prior to the announcement, so it probably wasn't quite as abrasive as maybe some of the analysts thought it would be. I felt like, you know, listening to Secretary Azar, it was like a commercial for our company. I mean, it's, you know, he talked about complexity in the system. He talked about informed consumers. That is something that constitutes an efficient market. And that is what's missing. Right now, we've got an oligopoly. We've got a chance to reset. If you can get the information to consumers, help them understand with their doctors what their therapy choices are and what the prices are, it will dramatically change the game.
The president, from the start, when he was on the campaign trail, wanted to dramatically change the game. And then when he became president, he had one line that probably struck fear in many pharma companies. Let's play it, and then I'll get your reaction.
The drug companies, frankly, are getting away with murder. And we want to bring our prices down to what other countries are paying. They're getting away with murder. Pharma has a lot of lobbies, and a lot of lobbyists, and a lot of power.
Robyn, you know how powerful the lobbyists are. Can Congress take them on? Congress accepts a lot of money from these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that is missing in this is transparency. Consumers, the other side, government, we need to know what's happening in these negotiations, the kickbacks, the rebates. The pharmacy benefit managers are these middlemen. I mean, that is just absolutely a casino inside of these agencies. these group purchasing organizations. Same thing's happening at the hospital level, and there is no transparency around that. And so we're just completely running blind, I think, as consumers. And I think what's happening is state budgets are being so compromised at this point because they don't have any visibility into this pricing structure, and so they're just getting slammed sideways.
Michael, we here at Fox Business, certainly I am a free marketeer. Let me play devil's advocate here. The president's a businessman. He's taking on a huge sector of society that extends and takes a lot of risk. Sometimes they spend, I mean, I was at Merck. I met a guy who spent 17 years developing a drug. His child was in utero when he started, and the kid was graduating high school, going to college by the time it made it to the shelves. They take on a lot of risk. Don't they deserve a good price for that risk that, in many cases, saves lives?
Absolutely. And what constitutes a good price? I think that, you know, as just a human being, I want to see that R&D happen. I want to see those new cures come to market, and it is transformational, some of the things that these new therapies like CAR-T bring. At the same time, it has to be balanced. There's only so many dollars in the bucket, and you know that has to be. There's you know real people out there that are paying those prices. If it becomes so unaffordable that they can't pay the ticket price, it's not going to really do any good.
Yeah, I think when you pair increased competition, transparency, and the FDA moving faster, we may see some action here. Robyn, Michael, great to have you on this. We got to bring you back because I don't know. He says months. It might take a lot longer, but we'll be on it and we'll be watching it. Thank you so much.